As you know, this is James. This is the Mumbas. James here.
I'm Albina.
We have decided to start a series of what we call help in relationships, like how to build a perfect relationship.
Help 911.
Yes, 911. Yeah. So you know me. I've always been a me. I've been me. I always present myself authentic as I am to most of the people who know me. But
your beautiful Bina here was not.
So we want to talk about how should you behave yourself, or what you're supposed to do when you enter a relationship, or if you're in a relationship, how should you be able to carry yourself?
Or all in all, the importance of being you.
Yes, the importance of being you in a relationship. So what do you think is most important when you're entering a relationship or when you have just started a relationship?
So guys, since I'm talking...
I'm interviewing her.
Yeah.
Because she's going to talk from the point of experience.
Yeah. Since I'm talking from my experience, and I know all the circumstances that come out of it, I can give suggestions, right? Because I've passed through it.
And now you're married. Happily.
And now I'm happily married, yeah.
Okay.
In the same relationships, I've entered as a liar. Two-faced person.
So, we just started, yes?
When we have just started our relationships, James had different idea about me. He was introduced to this perfect Albina who, I don't know, who doesn't have much arguments about whatever he says. Like, she doesn't have her own opinion. Like, it seems like everything he says, it matches with her own opinion. Oh, that's the way I'm thinking too, yes. Or, do you want to go and walk today? Even though if I'm feeling bad, yeah, I'm like, oh, yes, I want to meet him. Like, I can't miss not even one chance not to meet him. So even if I'm in pain, let me go and walk because, you know, I can't say no. What if I say no? And he'll go and find somebody else to go and walk with, you know. All these fears that we have in our brain, which are pointless because, you know, we just created them. It's not like the legs are growing from somewhere. The thing is that all those things make us do all these put on all these masks on our faces. So
if I understand you, you're trying to say that in relationships, when you're just starting, you should present yourself, the authentic you as you are. I mean, by you as you are, you mean in the sense like how you act when you're alone.
Let me explain that. In relationships, I suggest people to enter as authentic as possible. Now, by that, I don't mean, you know, when you are, for example, when you've not washed your hair for a week, you know, when you're home alone.
You just let yourself go, yeah?
By authentic, I mean that be as much you as possible. I know sometimes it's uncomfortable, especially when we are getting introduced to somebody new.
Yeah.
Because we usually try to, you know, act like, present ourselves as somebody we would want to be, right?
Yes, as perfect as possible.
Yeah, as perfect as possible. But the thing is that it's bad. It's gonna bury whatever you have starting. Because it wrecked our relationship so hard few years in. Because after a few years in, that's when all those masks started dropping one by one.
Was it like 2 years or so?
It was over 2 years in.
Yeah.
I started getting tired because, you know, there were some things that irritated me.
And you know, being a man, I was like, maybe this is a wrong relationship. I need to move forward. I need to find something better. I need to do this. Because, you know, the person that you've known is suddenly not the person that you knew, you know, so...
It's suddenly changing. For example, let me give you a very clean example, few of them. For example, I didn't like that he was scratching the fork on his teeth, right?
You know, it's us. I never understood why this was a problem because, you know, when I'm eating, there's a certain way that I don't love to put my lips on the fork. I don't know. It's like, it's a habit.
And you know, it played mind games with him because all of a sudden, the person who never paid attention to that started getting irritated by that, and it created thoughts in his head like I started falling out of love or things like that, right? But it was never about it. It was just that I got tired of pretending like I don't hear it, and it started coming out day by day, like new things, you know. And he was like, okay, this person is not in love anymore. Let me look around. Like, I don't think we are waking out even. And another example I want to give, there was a good example I wanted to give. В отличие от этого, сейчас, подожди.
Okay, you know, also what I want to say is that as I understand, you know, relationships now, being in a relationship for over 5 years and now as a married man, you know, is that in a relationship, what is important is you've got to understand your partner. In few weeks or few days in the relationship, don't hide anything. Let it all out. Let the other person decide if they really want to be with you or not. If you're not a church person, don't pretend to be one.
Yeah.
Continue being the unchurched person that you are. You have no idea, maybe that person is going to accept you as you are. So,
and you won't have to go through the, you know, like through going to church, but you don't want to go to church, but just because of this person, who knows? Maybe they were going to accept you the way you are. You see.
Yeah, and also it's just because, you know, when you're talking about this, you find that you come into this relationship pretending to be this person, and then you've got a past. Don't forget you've got a past. So, you know, the person now loves you and they start digging in. They want to get to know you, what you were doing before, what was happening. And they find out to say, the person you are pretending to be in this relationship right now is not the way you were some time back. And then old habits die hard. So you find that it's possible that you might have changed, but if you haven't changed, present you as you are. If you have changed from your old habits, then perfect, right?
Yeah, that's perfect statement. And also, I remembered my second premier example. I never used to wake. Sorry, I'm spitting. I never used to wake before I met James. After I met James, sometime in relationships, I started waking on a real job, right? Before I started waking, before we started living together, I presented myself as that, you know, hardworking girl who always does everything and, you know, always for the activities, like always, you know, wants to cook, always wants to help out with homework, for example, always has clean place, you know. But when it came time that we started living together and I was working night shifts, and all the time from work. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a dirty person, right? But sometimes you get into this loop of working every day and things just piling up around you and house starting looking like
a garbage.
So there was time when I was deeply depressed because of all these masks I'm wearing, tired, because of this job, difficulties or in life, right? I just didn't give a damn about anything, and I was sleeping the whole day until the evening when I have to go out to work. And I didn't give any dime of attention to my loved one, right? And of course, that created some kind of feelings in his heart as well.
No, you know, me being a hardworking person that I know, and then I met her, and then she portrayed to be so hardworking when, in the actual sense, it wasn't the case. You know, so you know, a few years in, and then this person all of a sudden just, you know, and then I started thinking, I'm like, what am I doing in this relationship? Because me, I want to achieve so many things. I want to do this, I want to do that. And now this person is lazy, and, you know, I just can't hold on to this relationship because I don't want a situation where I'm working and saying I'm making all the money and you're doing nothing. And that's when, you know, with time, as it went by, she started catching up, yes?
I did. The thing is that who you surround yourself with is who you will become.
Right now, I can tell you she's the hardest working lady I know. 100.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, who you surround yourself with is who you will become in the nearest future.
Yeah.
If you surround yourself with 3 successful people, you'll be the 4th successful person. If you surround yourself with 3 drunkards, you'll be 4th drunkard tomorrow.
3 losers, 4th loser.
Yeah, that's the way it works. So since coronavirus started, we were forced to stay together like 24/7.
But
and
wait, let's do that for another day.
And that's how I got his habits. Like, and that's how I got to know his habits like even more, and I got to learn his, for example, the way his days passes, right? The way his days pass by, right? The timetable. And the thing is that little by little, I started always doing something without even recognizing it. Right now, even if I'm watching a video on YouTube, right? I'm doing something else. Like I'm just putting it on a background if I need to watch something. There is no time where I'm just, sitting and procrastinating and like, what do I do now with myself?
Mm-hmm. So, all in all, what can we say? You need to present yourself as you are, yes? And then, because, looking at our example, if she presented herself like the way she really was,
we would have avoided so much trouble.
So much trouble would have been avoided, and all this hectic and headache would have been avoided. But simply because of the mistake that were made in our relationship when we just started, it made it complicated. Yeah. We are here today by the grace of God, actually. Because we always talk with each other, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
So I hope this helps somebody who's just starting a relationship and somebody who is just, who is already in a relationship or is looking for a partner.
Or who is in relationships and don't want to be, jumping from one to another and they have problems. Of course, I'm not talking about the problems where somebody is beating you up or somebody is being, как это называется, toxic. Mm-hmm. No, that's a different case. That you leave. Mm-hmm. But I'm talking about the relationships which are not working out, and to say there's a dime of your product as well. So I hope we helped somehow.
Perfect. See you next time.